Alright guys, well, welcome to gunlicense.co.za. The purpose of this video is just to tell you a little bit about the handgun courses that we have on offer. Also, I'll just have it known that this video was shot with one take. We're doing it semi-live. We are filming on the top of our shooting range, so if you do hear a couple of gunshots in the background, apologies, please bear with us. As some of you will know already, we specialize in firearm licensing and training. We do a lot of proficiency training for the civilian market, but also for security companies. And we obviously do all of the private unit standards, legal, handgun, shotgun, rifle, semi-auto. We do all of the business unit standards, handgun, rifle, shotgun, semi-auto. We do regulation 21s. So we specialize in that first step of firearm licensing. But apart from that, or should I say over and above that, we also specialize in defensive firearm training. We do a lot of courses for the civilian market, but we also cater to security companies. So today I'm here to tell you a little bit more about our handgun course range of offerings basically that we have. So over and above the proficiency training, we have our handgun level 1, which we've actually recently kind of renamed and structured in a way that's really easy to follow. So it's handgun level 1, 2, 3, then we've got our vehicle violence course and our 2-day house clearing course. So a little bit more about our handgun level 1. This we have named our introduction to handgun. So this is kind of like the bare basics, the absolute foundation that needs to be in place before you can build any other critical skill sets that you need to be a successful gunfighter. So this is it's a full day of training, so you really do get the value in that. We cover things like effective, realistic firearm safety, not just nice words on a piece of paper. We actually deal with what does it really mean when you're sitting there with a firearm. You're not going to have an instructor like myself looking over your shoulder. So when you're alone in a vehicle, when you're at your house late at night, you are in the living room on your couch with a loaded gun, how do you effectively take that gun and make it safe? We make sure that you have a deep understanding of that. We make sure that you know how to take the gun apart, how to look after it, how to clean it properly, how to put the bloody thing back together, which is very, very important. You don't want to be sitting with any spare parts when you've reassembled your firearm. We have a deep, in-depth discussion about the legal principles of self-defense and firearm ownership. So things like, why do we have guns? When do we shoot? When do we not shoot? These types of things are critically important to have a deep understanding of. Then we also guide you through a really, really nice fundamental shoot where we have a look at the fundamentals in a lot more it's a more in-depth process than the proficiency training, because it's a course that we've put together ourselves. We don't have to teach you, we're not forced to teach you anything. Not that the proficiency training isn't good, it's fantastic, but there's a lot to cover. So we make sure that you have a firm understanding of stance, of grip, of sight alignment, of target picture, of follow through, trigger squeeze, breathing, all of the fundamentals. We make sure that you have a proper understanding of that fundamental. Then we do a really, really nice 50-round shoot as well. There's a question and answer session. So any questions that you might have, anything that you have maybe heard from your uncle, whose neighbor's brother's cousin was a recce, or maybe a cop has told you in the past that hollow points are illegal and you just want to clarify, they're not, by the way. Things like that. We make sure that you have a firm understanding and that all of your questions are answered. Over and above that, we come to handgun level 2, which is our introduction to gunfighting course. This is a really fun course where we actually start fighting with a gun. We laid the foundation was laid at level 1. Think of this as we're kind of putting up the walls. So now we're going to start dealing with stuff like effective draw stroke. We always have a look at the fundamentals, make sure that everyone's on par, that everyone gets the maximum benefit out of the course. We have a gear check and we have a nice discussion around gear, everyday carry as a concept. A lot of the course material on this course is based around you and your everyday carry. So this is not really a course that we recommend coming there with your bulletproof vest and your combat rig and battle belt and all of that. This is everyday carry. The holster that you carry every day, magazines, whether they're in your pocket or you do have a concealed mag pouch, it's all kind of street legal stuff, if that makes sense. Over and above the safety, the gear check, the fundamentals, we have a look at the draw stroke, we have a look at combative malfunctions under pressure and stress. We make sure that you can clear these things without having to actively think about it. We have a look at magazine changes. We have a look at reactive and proactive magazine changes. We have a look at the different mechanics behind that. We have a look at the different shooting positions. Very, very, very important to have a nice awareness of everything that kind of surrounds these key concepts as well. So a thing that we like to do is provide kind of like the structure for the skill set, and we allow you to kind of fill in the blanks yourself, which is quite nice. So it's not a kind of tick box class. It's something that you are actually going to have a deep understanding of when you're finished. So that's a really fun one. We then take it to our level 3 handgun course, which is our close range gunfighting. This is kind of call it the roof of the house. The foundation was laid on level 1, the walls were put up on level 2. Level 3 is kind of putting that roof in place, getting the struts and structures there. So what we do now is we start running a little bit harder, a little bit faster. We focus on things like multiple attackers, close range gunfighting techniques, so compressed shooting positions, compressed weapon retention, and also dealing with malfunctions and that type of stuff, but in a close range environment while dealing with multiple attackers. We deal with making space, weapon access, and we run a couple of scenarios on top of that. So here we start looking at getting your gun out into the fight under stress. One of the big things that we kind of tackle on this course is also the condition 1, condition 3 thing. I'm not going to talk too much about that now. Come to the course and we'll have a look at that. I don't want to give away too much about that. Guys, our classes are constantly changing and evolving, so no two classes will be exactly the same. There's obviously the fundamental stuff that we have to get through and that you have to have a firm grasp on in order to earn your certificate. But we take every single class as it comes, and certain classes have a higher or a lower medium skill level, and we take that into account. So even if you've done one of the courses before, don't think that you're going to be bored to death by coming on one again. You'll see there's going to be a couple of lack of differences, and obviously a nice recap on a lot of the core issues as well. So that's our level 1, 2, and 3. Over and above that, we have our vehicle violence course. That's pretty much exactly what it says. It's fighting in and around vehicles. We look at multiple threat engagements. We look at approaching, embussing, debussing vehicles. We have a look at different shooting positions around vehicles, using a vehicle as cover and concealment, and everything else that kind of goes around that. We don't really call it an anti-hijack course because that's not really like the crux of the issue, although that is certainly something that is covered in this course. So it's basically fighting in your vehicle, around your vehicle, and you'll see how that ties really, really nicely into the skill sets that were learned in the handgun level 1, 2, and 3. Over and above that, we've got our 2-day house clearing course. That's a pretty self-explanatory one, where we deal with angles, we deal with thresholds, we deal with entering unknown spaces, fighting and surviving inside of a structured environment. We call it house clearing just so that everyone knows kind of what it's about, but it's any kind of structure work. If you understand angles, you understand thresholds, and you understand movement, and just tipping the balance in your favor, you're going to have a lot better time fighting in and around structures if you can grasp these concepts. So we do a little bit of force on force as well, so that's quite lekker. We do it obviously in a very safe, structured environment. It's not just a bug around session. We've had amazing feedback from that. This is one that we run quite often for security companies, but we have tailored a very specific course for our civilian clients as well. So that's also something to look out for. So those are kind of the courses. That's the level 1, the level 2, the level 3, vehicle violence, and our 2-day house clearing course. What I'm going to also do is in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link there. If you'd like to join our inner circle group, I say group, it's not actually a group, so your information stays completely private, but we'll send you a WhatsApp with course dates, with any cool media that comes out, with any kind of like laws that change, or if the government tries to slide something sneaky in on a Friday afternoon and take away your gun rights, we'll let you know about it. It's a very simple link. Click the link, fill in your name, number, email, and choose your preferred method of receiving information. You'll receive all of these course dates before it gets put out on mainstream social media, so you guys will have an opportunity to kind of snap up some of those spots beforehand. I think that kind of brings us to the end of this video, guys. If you have absolutely any questions or something that you'd like to take a little bit further, let us know. If you'd like to book courses, do some more training, you've got a friend that maybe would like to ask some questions about the firearm licensing process, whatever it might be, guys, anything related to guns, we are your one-stop shop. Obviously, we have our partners here at Gunnery Arms and Ammo. We're currently standing on top of their shooting range. So they do products, they do guns, ammo, bulletproof vests, shoes, knives, caps, clothing, you name it. And then obviously we will take care of all of your training needs and your firearm licensing needs. So I think that's that. Without rambling on too much, have an awesome day further, carry your guns, look after yourselves, and hopefully we get to chat to you soon. Cheers.